This is our 7th year for the Infant Mortality Summit. And so we've taken various different avenues throughout the term and so the years. But this is our first time we've moved it to April. And we're going to keep it in April to coincide with the Minority Health Month. And so 3 years ago, we began highlighting our IMA champions. So we're so happy that you all are here this evening to once again recognize the great work happening in our community. We'll start by recognizing the outgoing work group chairs. We want to thank all of you for your hard work and sticking with us during the pandemic and all of the challenges that came with it. So will Dr. Sonia Hughes join me on the stage? I think she see it. Dr. Hughes is the chair of the healthcare work group. And so we're so thankful for all your hard work. We want to present you with a little token of appreciation. And so, Dr. Sonia Hughes, thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to certainly thank the Infant Mortality Alliance, and I will always say that when I grow up, I want to be like Senator Pittman, and we're dressed alike today, so I think I'm doing pretty good. And just all that she's done for the Alliance this year, and of course, our chair, leading us through the pandemic. We had to do a hard pivot, and you didn't miss a beat. And certainly Barbara and Kelly, I just remember that day where you called me up and you said, we got to talk to you. And they went through this big speech, and at the end of it, they said, we'd like for you to be the health care. I said, oh, y'all could have said that 30 minutes ago. Yeah, I'll do it, And so I just appreciate you both being so patient with me over the course of these, 2-3 years? I switched from working for healthcare. I was at Integris at the time, then at Healthcare Service Corporation, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and now, of course, with CVS Health and Aetna. And so my schedule changed with each of those roles, and you guys just rolled with it. And so I just certainly want to thank you for your patience and all that have participated in the webinars this past year. And of course, we've got the seat at the table coming up, which we're very excited about. So don't want to take up too much time, but certainly appreciate everyone's patience with me and everyone's support. And I look forward to great things that this alliance will continue to do. So thank you.
So Christy Madden could not be with us tonight, but Barbara will be accepting the award on her behalf. Barbara, would you join us?
I am accepting this award for Christy Madden for the health equity. She was the health equity chair for this year, and we had some challenges, but we actually made it through. We had some actual meetings where we did some webinars and some, we did privilege. We did the privilege for sale. We did the book. We got the manual together. And so with all of that said, we will be doing the privilege for sale with our the seat at the table, which will be next month. So if we'll be looking for our doctor to be there with us and some families. And so we had, like I said, we've had some challenges, but we are excited about where the Infant Mortality Alliance is going. So I'm accepting that award on behalf of Christy Madden.
Before we go any further, I didn't introduce my sister of the evening. For those of you who do not know, this is my sister, Sister Anastasia Pittman, and she is the co-chair of the IMA. So she is my right hand lady. So Barbara, you should come back up because we're going to be recognizing Martha Balderas, who's the co-chair of the Community and Faith Work Group.
I will be accepting the award for Martha Balderas. She's out, she's ill tonight. So on behalf of her, she's the co-chair for the Community and Faith.
Congratulations.
So will Sandra Haynes please join me on the stage?
Yes.
Sandra is our chair of the Community and Faith Work Group. And thank you, Sandra, for all that you've done. We appreciate all your hard work, your commitment. And so thank you on behalf of the IMA.
Thank you. So I really don't want to say anything but to say thank you. I just love her. We were in Enid together, so I just love her to death, and Barbara and Kelly and Anastasia. I just love this group, and just because I will not be the chair anymore, I will be working hard. So thank you.
Be careful what you ask for.
I know, right?
You're co-chair. We flip you back and forth. All right. We also want to acknowledge Karen Jacobs with the IMA chair. I am the baby sister, so I'm going to do what I'm told. So, but this has been a wonderful, wonderful time. Karen has been with us since our first day. She led the community and the faith work group with the IMA, and then she became the IMA chair. Karen has also agreed to continue to work with us as chair until the election. And then I will take over that later on, but right now, currently, I'm running for office, so I can't put anything else on my plate. I want to work for the community. Absolutely, absolutely. Make myself available to serve our community, so when that election is over and is completed. But I want you to help me thank Karen for her dedication to the IMA. So please congratulate Karen Jacobs again. Also, just in the absence of Pastor Dorn, I want to say thank you to him and his leadership and just his affection for the Infant Mortality Alliance. We couldn't have done it without them, and today he's out of town. So we also want to make sure we introduce the incoming chairs. So would the incoming chairs please stand for those of you who are here? Because I don't see Ms. Watley, Yolanda Viewers. There she is. Okay. There she is. We got Tahara Watley for healthcare, Yolanda Viewings for equity, Pastor Dorn for fatherhood, Dr. Branham for the LLF FHB, and Dr. Branham. Yes, I was gonna say. There you go. Thank you, and Canel Preston for the food. She's absent. Okay. Fantastic. But we want to give another round of applause because we appreciate you all and the work that we have to do.
So let's shift gears. First of all, let me say thank you for the award. I was talking earlier and I said, you know, it is such a joy to be able to do God's work and get paid for it. Because in my role at DHS, Community and Faith Engagement Administrator, I really get to get out into the community and to see the differences that are made. You know, when I first started talking about infant mortality, I really didn't understand what my director was asking me to do. He just talked about safe sleep practices. But when I heard the figure that there are 400 babies that die each year, and the majority of them are African American babies, that tore my heart. And I lived it through one of my godsons who lost a baby, who did everything right, went to college, graduated, got married, everything was good. The sorority sisters gave her this huge, huge baby shower. They wanted for nothing. But when they left the hospital, they were planning for a funeral and not the celebration of their birth. And to go to the funeral and to see that, the mom being rolled in a wheelchair, and he, as a young man, trying to support her, but to deal with the grief himself. So I've lived it, and so now it's a personal thing. It's not just something that my director asked me to do. But we can make a change, but we've got to be in the community to talk about this issue. This is not acceptable. And so thank you all for what you do. Thank you for joining me in this effort. I've been here from day one. Didn't know what I was doing, but I was steered by Barbara and Kelly. And so I just want to thank you all for your vision and your hard work behind everything we do. We couldn't do it without you. So thank you for that. So this year we're going to let those who nominated the awardees to do the presentation. So would Dr. Branham come on the stage? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this award that she's going to present. It's the Faith Community Advocate Award. It honors a person or entity that has made a significant contribution and demonstrates leadership in the community through their time, actions, talents, and dedication outside of any volunteer work by their employer. Dr. Branham.
Thank you, Karen. So I am here to award the Faith Community Advocate Award to the Encounter Sunday School class from Church of the Servant Methodist Church. The Encounter Sunday School class has been an active force for good in Oklahoma City since February of 1979. They have been meeting together as a group through several different locations throughout all that time period. But in 2021, the class opened their doors to the Leading Ladies for Healthy Babies, which is part of the IMA. And they wanted to learn more about the issue of Black maternal and infant mortality right here in our city. And because of what they heard, they decided to become an active partner with the Leading Ladies to support the IMA. They have been actively raising funds to allow new services to be provided throughout Oklahoma City through all of the different churches that are involved in Leading Ladies, as well as providing to Emerson High School for at-risk pregnant teens to help create an emergency funding for families with infants in crisis who are involved with the Leading Ladies active churches. Their deep interest and their generous gifts have allowed the Leading Ladies to impact many at-risk families here in the Oklahoma City metro area in 2021. So, in honor of all they have done, this year's Faith Community Advocate Award recipient is the Encounters Sunday School class. So, in order to accept the award, and on behalf of the Encounters Sunday School class, I'd like to welcome Kay Filson.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we done started it over.
We are honored to be part of this organization, to accept this award, but really it's not us. It's all of you who just have your vision and your mission to take care of mothers and babies. That's the important thing, and I'm very proud to be part of this community that has that as something that's important to them. We live north Edmond. We live in an area that's fairly prosperous. So we don't hear a lot about this kind of organization. So we were delighted when Becky came to our class and spoke to us so we could be more informed about what's going on in the community and the opportunity that is presented not only for us to support you, but all of you to take care of the mothers and the babies. We have all raised children with all the frills that you could possibly have. So it's encouraging to know that someone is looking out for those that are less fortunate than us. So thank you so much, and we will continue to do what we can to support this mission. Thank you. Thank you.
The next award is the Community Health Award. This award recognizes an individual or organization that demonstrates excellence in addressing health through achieving measurable improvement to health or health care, makes creative, innovative, and exceptional contributions to the community, pays attention to the long-term impact and sustainability of their work, and works collaboratively without seeking recognition for their contributions. Dr. Branham.
All right. I'm sure that a lot of people in this room know what a NICU is, but just in case somebody didn't. So a neonatal intensive care unit is called a NICU, and it's a part of a hospital where babies are delivered that if the babies are born struggling, they have some kind of health problem, maybe they're at risk, they would go to this part of the hospital that would be set aside with all the equipment that they would need to be able to care for that vulnerable at-risk baby. And so when we're talking about infant mortality, this is the front lines of the battleground where these lives are being won or lost. This is where the fight is really happening. And so tonight, for the Community Health Award, I would like to present one of the warriors for babies here in our community, Dr. Marjorie McConey. Yeah. Dr. McConey is Assistant Professor of Neonatology at the OU Health Science Center. Dr. McConey has dedicated her career to helping the most vulnerable infants right here in Oklahoma. She chose to come here as a fellow, and she fell in love with Oklahoma and loves our babies. And so she's chosen to dedicate her whole career right here in our state. Yeah. She specializes in neonatal hemodynamics, focusing on chronic pulmonary hypertension in very low weight infants. She also is interested in racial and health disparities and how they affect our premature babies. And she has worked on the cardiovascular development of premature infants. Her studies and her research are shaping the care of infants nationwide, but we have her right here with us. And so her leadership in this prominent position at Oklahoma City's premier teaching hospital means that she is having a far-reaching influence over the next generation of medical providers that will be serving our state. Her care for the most vulnerable babies here in Oklahoma is so worthy of our recognition. So we're so pleased to present Dr. McConey with this year's Community Health Partner Award. Yes.
I sure do. I have a prepared speech. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am incredibly honored to be here and pleased to accept this award and for the recognition as a worthy recipient amongst all the champions of child health in Oklahoma City. I would also like to salute the nominees for this year who continue to make incredible, wonderful contributions to our community. I would like to express my gratitude to the Oklahoma Infant Mortality Alliance for coming together and taking on this very important issue of infant mortality. As a pediatrician, neonatologist, and researcher who works closely with babies and their parents from birth, it gives me great pleasure and hope for our community that beyond the hospital, we have a community such as this that rallies around our families. Most times we wonder what's going to happen to these babies, but I was very happy to hear that we have so many people who recognize the issues that we have, especially when it comes to health disparities in mortality, in health availability. So it gives me such great pleasure to hear this. A very special thank you to those who nominated me and supported my nomination, and of course to my husband, Chris Laley, who's here, a native of Oklahoma. One of the reasons I decided to stay here as well. Yeah, so what Dr. Faulkner was talking about is the National Institute of Health, the NIH, recognizes that Oklahoma has an infant mortality problem, and we have such disparities in our care. So they provided a grant for 2 individuals. You have to apply, and I was one of the recipients. It's called an R25. It's called an R25 grant, and it provides me with funding and resources to do all the research and the studies that I do at the Children's Hospital. So the Children's Hospital of Oklahoma, the University of Oklahoma, and the Children's Hospital Foundation came together and got me all the equipment and support that I need to carry out my research. And I thank them for all that support. As a member of one of the underserved populations, female, Black, I understand very well the need for representation. My childhood hero was a doctor, and when I saw her, I just knew I was going to be just like her. And right now, she's still practicing at the very ripe age of mature, and she's a dear friend of my mother. It is by seeing those similar to us that we dare to dream and are able to achieve beyond those dreams. Thank you for reminding me who I am and why I do what I do. May we all continue to work together, support each other, and I hope to continue to live up to the meaning behind and worth of the award and recognition moving forward. Thank you.
Wow, what a champion. The next award is the IMA Trailblazer Award. Yolanda Ewings, please join me on stage as we talk about this award. The Trailblazer Award recognizes an individual organization who identifies and implements innovative changes that positively affected the community. Award recipients should have demonstrated noteworthy, proven achievements or contributions that have furthered the cause of reducing infant mortality in the community. Yolanda?
When I nominated this person, there's so many things you can say about her. I want to read what I submitted. Miss McNeil, Kelly McNeil. She has relentlessly worked and contribute to the establishment of this IMA, which is a much needed organization that has brought speakers from across this country to educate us, to facilitate and contribute to Oklahomans being aware and informed, exposed to infant mortality, and finding and creating solutions by providing an equal playing field when it comes to the health and welfare of African Americans. That's me, that's us. In Oklahoma and across this nation. She's also encouraged and motivated so many of us in organizations with the work that she's done and continues to do by helping create environments of success for everyone she meets. Anyone can clearly see that your heart is in every phone call, every letter, every contact. You bring the best, Kelly. You don't just throw anything at us, but you seek out the best of everything that you do for IMA. This season has been very challenging for us. With COVID, a lot of things shut down, but babies are still dying. And yet, this woman refused to say no, no, no. She has found creative ways to bring us on the webinar, on Zoom, and say, nope, this ain't a time to sit aside and get tired and go hiding and rest. There's too much work to do. There's babies that are still dying. Miss McNeil has certainly contributed to the saving the lives of our babies and our children and our moms in this state and across this nation. No one, and I do mean no one, has ever done such an amazing job in bringing so many people from all walks of life. She's brought laymen, professionals, experts, together creating partnerships that are life-changing and that last a lifetime. I've met people in other states that now we're friends due to this woman's work. Miss McNeil, I know that she believes that everyone will walk away more educated, more empowered, and determined to continue this fight for justice for all. Please stand on your feet and thank God for this woman.
Y'all messing up my
They all know that I am such a baller. I can't believe that they let the preacher get up here and do my nomination. First and foremost, Barbara, please join me up here.
Woo! Come on, Miss Barbara. Team, you got a team. Come on.
I knew this. We put the program together, and it still sneaks up on you every once in a while. So, first, thank you for this honor. Truly, I can't tell you how much it really means to me. I can tell you, I argued with Barbara and tried to take my name out. I tried to take my name out for the leadership group, and they were relentless. And honestly, it's not just being humble. There's so many people that really make up this alliance. And so it's really very, very humbling to me that I would be the one that would be honored. However, the only way that I was willing to accept this award is also to honor all those that have helped in the development of the IMA, in particular, Barbara Colbert.
Yes.
We have walked this path together for quite some time. 7 years to be exact. So we started this together 7 years ago. And the IMA would simply not be the same without her being humble, without her candor, without her humility, without her kicking some backsides once in a while and telling us all where to go and how to do it. Y'all know her, see? You're laughing. And honestly, her friendship means absolutely the world to me. I also want to take a minute and acknowledge the FEMR and the Maternal and Child Health Outreach team that I have here at City County. They are simply the very best of the best. They do this work every day. We did not miss a day during COVID. We were in the building every day doing this work. And I really would be remiss if I didn't also say so many of you, Karen was that first ice storm meeting that we had 7 years ago that the whole world had closed down for 4 days, but we showed up. And Pastor Dorn was there, Danielle, who can't be here tonight, Maggie. We're so grateful for all the work that you did here and beyond. And right from the start, they've all just been tried and true and have hung in there during the good times, during the bad times, during the funny times, during the sad times, all of the above. We, not very long ago, October, we simply said we've got to give back to the community, and threw together literally a drive-through baby shower where we gave 123 families the diapers and the cribs and the stuff that they needed. And every day we continue to do that work. And if we were not supported by the entire Alliance, there's 480 people in the Alliance. There's 120 organizations that have signed on that said we're committed. And yet our babies are still dying. We've got to do more, but they're committed and they stay with us. Yes. They stay with us. And I appreciate every single one of you and all these women that are up here on this stage and the ones that couldn't be here today. And so the only way I'm accepting this award is on behalf of all of them. Awesome.
We are awarding another IMA Trailblazer tonight. And this one will be awarded posthumously. First Lady McKnight was a wife, a mother, a grandmother, the First Lady of the church, business owner, sister, aunt, leading lady, mentor. She was my friend. First Lady McKnight was one of the first leading ladies to step forward and join in the leading ladies for healthy babies. She was always willing to volunteer with health fairs and safe sleep extravaganzas. She would be the first to step forward and help with all of the events and activities. She was always willing to lend a helping hand. She was always wanting to mentor someone, and she had the servant's heart. She would work in the church, and she was always working with the children. I remember times when we would have events. We'd have our Saturday leading ladies events, and then she would call me that night and she'd say, okay, this is what we need to do. I looked at this and this is what we need to do. But I look forward to those calls because it was always, she saw something and then she always has a positive to what we need to spin to it. I loved her heart. I loved her smile. She had a child care center she owned for so many years, and that was a place where her worlds, they came together. She was able to take care of children. She spoke into children's lives, families' lives, and that was like a safe landing space for people. She was the epitome of a servant, leadership. You know, I'm sorry, it's just me, but I tell them at work, whatever is in you is gonna come out. But you know, in the Bible, you gotta have a servant's heart. God was a servant. He didn't want to be served, he served. So she always was serving somebody. It was always about what she could do for someone. And that's what it was all about. And that's what she did. I miss her smile. You know, the other day I was rolling through my phone. I haven't deleted. I was rolling through my phone and I was just looking at text messages and just looking at pictures. And I miss her. Nowhere near what the family is going to miss her, but I miss her. I can say that I miss her. And the smile, it would light up a room. And so on behalf, I can't even go anymore. I'm not going to read no more because I'm going to start bawling and I don't want to. So on behalf of First Lady Home Leader McKnight and her family, I'm going to present this award to you all. But I do want to say this. It says, to whom much is given, much will be required. Luke 12:48.
We thank you for this award, for acknowledging who she was and is to the IMA. She was one of 6 beautiful girls, to the which I got the most beautiful. She was the most beautiful. I miss her greatly, but she instilled in family her love, her care, and it spilled over into our community, her job, her business, her church. She was just a joy to work with. I was able to share 43 years with her, and to God be the glory. God bless you.
Amen. I know that you all probably don't know this, and the family, I'm sure, doesn't know this, but I'm going to give y'all just a little tidbit of what Homelita did for me. When it talks about being a servant, she shared, cared, and did. She just didn't see something and then let it go. She was out there. So one day we were sitting there and we were at an event on 23rd, and it was hot, and we were trying to hand out information and flyers, and Barbara and I was at our posts. Well, that wasn't good enough, Sister Homelita. She grabbed what we was going to give out, and before I knew it, she was almost to 36, but everybody was getting this information. And she came back, girl, let me tell you, she's going to be there, and she was a doer. So one day we went, I don't know where we were, but she had this fan. And oh my God, I never saw a fan like that. And I told her, ooh, I love that fan. She said, you like this fan? I said, oh my God, I've never seen anything like it. She said, girl, I made it. I said, you make stuff like that? She said, yeah, it's just something I threw together. And she said, and so I was just looking at it, right? So I didn't say no more. You're supposed to be begging folks. But I sure like that fan. I'm gonna tell you now, from a first lady to a first lady, I have the fan at my church. And don't nobody mess with my fan. Because Sister Homelita gave me my fan. So I tell you what, I love her. We met and we had a kindred spirit, and she was just a wonderful epitome of what a first lady is. And I said, I wish my church was in Oklahoma City, because if it was, girl, we'd be fellowshipping all the time. But I fell in love with her. And she had the heart and the drive to make a difference with the Infant Mortality Alliance. She wasn't a person that just sat down and let people do. She was right there kind of telling us what to do, but in her own sweet kind of way. So I loved me some Homelita. And so I will always cherish her. Now, if y'all ever come to Stroud, to Jesus First Baptist Church, come on, because I got my fan. We want to recognize the Oklahoma City County Health Department for their support and allowing us to use this beautiful facility. Thanks to the Department of Health and Human Services, the DHS Community and Faith Engagement for sponsoring the dinner this evening. Did you enjoy the dinner? Okay. The video of this program will be available following the IMA Summit on April 28th. Thank you all from the bottom of our heart of everything that you all do. We have a doctor, we got doctors, we have lawyers, we have everything we need to make a difference. We've got community workers. All we need is for everybody to do a little bitty part, and we will make this puzzle the biggest puzzle ever. We can do this together. Amen? Amen. Thank you all for what you do. Have a safe trip home this evening, and we look forward to seeing you all again. Don't forget, April 28th, the IMA Summit. We will be having the Reverend Dr. Q English with the Health and Human Services Partnership Center. Y'all, we're in the White House. Y'all don't know we're in the White House. So make sure that you log on, register, and we've got doctors, we've got some panelists, we've got good information to share. So whoever you know, tell them to click on and join us for the summit on April 28th. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Got it done, didn't we? Got it done. Listen, I'll be sending the family of Homelita McKnight a letter. You all talk about Homelita and her service and her work, but Homelita was also a political activist. And I will let you know that she beat me up and down the streets. And folks didn't even know that she knew me. I met her through my sorority sister. But in 2006, when we got on Homelita Street, Homelita beat us up and down the street. And when we had our watch party, it was Homelita that was in the newspaper that was behind my son because she followed us all the way to the end. So I want to say thank you as well. We had fun together.